So thanks again for listening or watching the podcast. Our guest today was Jan Allen Ackley. And what I do at this point is I give our guests the ability to tell a story or an event in their life separate for their awakening. I think it's good to get a sense of Jan in particular, just away from his awakening, and you could get to him a little better. So, Jan, do you have a story that you want to share?
Yeah, one story that comes to my mind. It's one of these things at the time. I didn't know the significance of it, but it's engraved in my brain, and I think about it often. I had worked, this is when I was young, I had, out of my 5 children, I had 3 at the time. We previously had moved to Detroit with Comerica Bank, and I was a new lender there and was up there for a couple of years, let's say. And they had an office in Ohio. And so they asked me if I wanted to help with this commercial banking center down in Ohio, and I jumped on that. And I wasn't making a lot of money at the time. And they said, hey, why don't you take a couple of days, go down there. We'll pay for everything. You can just look around, see where you want to live, just find neighborhoods of a house and so on. And so they said, we will pay for everything. And they knew I had 3 kids and so on. And they said, take your family out somewhere really nice to eat. It's all on us. Splurge if you want to. And I thought, oh, this is going to be cool. Didn't have a lot of money. And so this was going to be a treat.
Right.
So we get to Ohio and we checked into the hotel, and we were thinking about, Deanna and I were thinking about, where are we going to eat? There's all these good restaurants around. I think we had a couple of picked out, like steakhouses and this fancy stuff.
Sure.
And so we went to my 3 kids and said, hey, where do you want to go? We can go anywhere. Here's some suggestions that your mom and I have. And they said, we want to go Taco Bell. And we tried to talk them out of it.
Right.
And they said, no, Taco Bell. That's all we want, Taco Bell. And they were determined to go to Taco Bell. So we went to Taco Bell. Right. And we had the best time at Taco Bell. I spent like $7.50. And they were so happy. They were so happy about being at that Taco Bell. And at the time, oh, this was cool. I didn't know the significance of it for me at the time, but they were so happy to be at Taco Bell. They would not have been happy if I had taken them to this fancy restaurant. We laughed in Taco Bell. I think we were, one of the only families in there sitting down at that time. And we just laughed and ate tacos and had a great time. I get back to Detroit, and I turned my expense report in, and the manager looked at it, and he said, Jan, Taco Bell? And I told you could go anywhere. And I said, look, I explained the story, and he busted out laughing and everything. But I still see my family, my young self, my young wife, and these 3 kids, and we're sitting in this booth at Taco Bell and having a great time for $7.50.
That encapsulates you, though, as you talk about in the main podcast. That brought you happiness.
It did.
More important than eating an expensive steak.
Wasn't about money at all.
Right.
It was seeing my kids there in that booth, laughing and joking, and that's what it was about.
That's great. Anyway, again, I want to thank Jan. I really appreciate you being here. And have a safe trip back.
I appreciate it.
You get the gold star for being the guest who came the furthest. So.
Being a gold star is good.
It's very good. Your book is 5 gold stars.
Oh, I appreciate it.
All right.
Yes.
Thanks, Jan.
Thank you.
Take care.